So this video really has nothing to do with learning how to program. It has entirely to do with how to use Scratch, and in particular how to use one of the extension features in Scratch that I think some of you might really enjoy. In particular, if you work with young kids, or if you're working with young readers and you want to create programs that young new readers can work with. And so remember that when we added in the extensions here for pen in the final unit, that one of the features, one of these extensions that I talked about was text to speech. And I want to click on text to speech, and you'll see that when you get text to speech, what you get is only 3 blocks, but these are 3 pretty powerful blocks. The first is you can set what language you're working with, and there's a large list of languages here. I'm not fluent in very many languages, so I can't really talk about how well it works in some of these languages other than English and a little bit of German that I know, but it works really well in English, so I'm going to leave it there. And I can set the voice, and really there's a couple of different voices here. Alto and tenor are the ones most often used. Alto is a women's voice, tenor is a man's voice, and the squeak and giant and kitten are funky sound effects. I'm going to leave it right now with the woman's voice, and then once we set those, we can ask our sprite to speak. And so I can say something like, "Hello, class. I hope you have enjoyed this workshop on Scratch." And so I can ask it to say this. And when I click on this, now we'll listen.
Hello, class. I hope you have enjoyed this workshop on Scratch.
We get actually a pretty reasonable text-to-voice reading of that. There's a little bit of enunciation there, a little, up and down inflection, and it works pretty well. And one of the things I like doing then is to mix this.
Hello, class. I hope you have enjoyed this workshop on Scratch.
To mix this with actually one of the looks blocks, I actually like mixing it with the say block that doesn't have a time limit on. And here's what I do. I'm going to copy this particular set of text. I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to say that before I speak. And so what happens is I set to English, I set the voice to the woman's voice. I tell the computer to say this, which means it pops up in a bubble until it's told to do something else. I then have the computer start speaking that same thing. And the advantage of doing it this way is this will stay on the screen, and we can actually read exactly what the voice is saying. And then when I'm done, what I can do is to do say, and I take everything out of there. There's nothing here. I say nothing, and the advantage is, or what that does, what the instruction tells the computer to do, is to take the bubble away. And so we get this.
Hello, class. I hope you have enjoyed this workshop on Scratch.
And as soon as it's done speaking it, it removes the text. Well, this is kind of cool because what you can do is to create some storytelling where if your kids can't read particularly well, or they're new readers and you want to use some words that you aren't sure they'll know, you can mix the visual written word with the oral textual or the oral word being spoken. I should go ahead and change this to tenor just for a second so you can hear what the man's voice sounds like.
Hello, class. I hope you have enjoyed this workshop on Scratch.
Okay, not too bad. Well, let me show you just 2 quick examples of this, a little more in action than this simple thing. The first thing I'm going to do is show you, we just recently looked at the food sound song. And so here is the Today is Monday song. But what I've done is all I did was go and replace all of the say blocks for 2 seconds to do say that and then immediately speak that. And you'll see that it's really exactly what we want it to look like. So let me run it.
Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Monday is string beans. All you hungry children, come and eat it up. Today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday is spaghetti. All you hungry children, come and eat it up. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday is soup. All you hungry children, come and eat it up.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. You'll notice that
Today is Thursday.
You'll notice that we have a little bit of lag here. The timing is off now. With the old program, it worked just fine because I was able to say something for 2 seconds and say something for 2 seconds, and I knew how long it took before I needed to display the soup. And so we did the food all with timing. Right. What I'm actually going to do here is to change this up a little bit. So rather than waiting and doing all of that, what I want to do is to simply change this to wait till it gets a message. And when it gets a message, it's going to switch to a costume for a particular length of time, or switch to a particular costume, show, and then wait for a particular amount of time and hide. And so I'm actually going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to change this to a broadcast event. So we'll say when I receive, let's call it food time, then it's going to show the food, right? And so then what I want to do is have the cat know to tell the food it's time to show up. So I'm going to broadcast food time when I get ready to say what the particular food is. So we can say it this way, right? It says today is Monday, today is Monday, right? Today is Monday. Today is Monday, and then right when it says Monday is string beans, it's going to say food time, and my food sprite is going to switch to that costume and show it for 6 seconds. And so that should work a little better.
Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Monday is string beans.
And so see, it came out right when he said Monday is string beans.
All you hungry children, come and eat it up.
And now it'll disappear.
Today
we
is
go on to Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. Tuesday is spaghetti. All you hungry children,
so that's kind
come
of
and eat it
cool
up.
because we were able to coordinate all of that. And again, all it's doing from a code perspective is speaking exactly the same thing that it used to be displaying. And in fact, it's still displaying today is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever. But it can do that even using variables, which is kind of neat. The other version of this that I should show you is I'm going to leave that for now. Let's go over to the knock-knock joke that you saw earlier in the course. Okay, this one took a little more to actually change over. Let me show it to you. Right, so he's standing here, and then she starts talking.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Philip.
Philip who?
So we can go back and forth.
Fill up my cup. I'm out of coffee.
Right, so I can use Abby, my female character, got set to the alto voice. Devin, my male character, got set to the tenor voice. The problem again was this whole idea of, in the old way, I knew that they each spoke for 2 seconds, right? That Abby started and spoke for exactly 2 seconds, and Devin then spoke and he spoke for exactly 2 seconds. And the problem that we were encountering in this case, when I initially turned it over, is I have no idea how. When she says knock knock, that only takes a third of a second or a half a second, and I don't really know, nor do I really want to figure it out. Although I could have adjusted the time just by listening. What I did in mine was to change this so that when it received the tell a joke broadcast, that it says broadcast line number 1, broadcast line. I mean, there were 5 lines in my play, right? Knock, knock, who's there? Philip who? Fill up my cup, I'm out of coffee. And so what I've done is broadcast each of those as a command with a broadcast and wait. So this is the knock, knock. Abby's the only person who receives line 1. She says knock, knock and waits 1 second of visual. You might notice that, right? She says, watch this.
Knock, knock.
And then I leave it up for a little bit longer so the readers can read it, because really, truly, knock, knock and who's there are very short. And so if we said knock, knock and then immediately took away the speech bubble, you might not even be able to read it. So I went ahead and left it up 1 extra second, and then I cleared it out. And then when I'm done with this, right, so now line 1 is completely being done, executed. So we come back to the tell a joke and we broadcast line 2 and wait. Well, line 2 is Devin. He says who's there in a bubble. He says who's there out loud. We wait 1 more second with the text bubble and we clear it, and now this is done. And so we have this sort of back and forth. So I'm not claiming that you're an expert here now with that little tutorial, but with just a few examples, hopefully you can start to play with the set language and set voice command, you can start to play with converting some of your programs, including in some of your programs, that idea of speech to help with your storytelling or to help with your young learners.